Dawn here with Dee Creates Crafts. Today we are going to make different design backgrounds to just bring your handmade cards to the next level. So we're going to cover 3 different techniques, if you will. So join me. I'm going to put you down and we're going to create some cards. I'm Dawn with Dee Creates Crafts, and subscribe to my channel. Like the video if you like it at the end. All the measurements and instructions and ordering links I will put in the comment section after our video, so you can have access to how to make these, how to order goodies, and all that fun stuff. All right, let's get started with our crafting. I'm going to turn you down. The first one we're going to do is embossing, how to emboss a layer for a background. So that's the first one we're going to do. And I have a couple other samples for you. This is like bark, and this is the little flowers, and then this one has some ferns coming up from the top and bottom, and I put a little bit on the inside as well. So you got 3 samples for the embossing. So what I'm going to do first is, this is the embossing paper folder I'm using today. It's called Bark. It leaves like a wood grain finish into our actual paper, if you will, our cardstock. So I'm going to line this up and get ready to run it through. It's good with embossing folders. You want the folded side towards the machine and an open side away from the machine. I do put it on a slight angle, and then you're going to cover it, depending on your machine, with the appropriate plate. It usually goes on the base plate, but whatever you need to do to run it through. For this particular one, I have to use these particular mats, but your machine may be different. And then we open it up, and yes, there is our bark. So that came out very well. So let's make a card with our bark. And what I want to do is teach you the technique and then come back and make a card for you using the technique that we just did. Now, today's stamp set that I'm featuring is called Quiet Meadow. It does come with matching dies. And so I'm going to feature this along with all the cards that I'm making. So I'm going to get out my other goodies, my little supplies for my particular card that we're doing. I want to give you a little more light. Better? Okay. I don't want it too bright because, you know, then it kind of reflects the light and then it doesn't work for us, you know? All right, I am looking for, here it is, for stamping, which is the first thing I want to do. I want to get a little, for almost like an apron, you know, for our card. This is just a piece of, what would you call that, burlap. It was a wide ribbon. I just cut the edges off. This is not from Stampin' Up, but this is just something I had on hand. I like to craft with things that I have on hand. I really do. And so this one, we are going to decorate, and I'm getting my ideas all set up. I do want to stamp us a sentiment, if you wills. So I have a happy birthday sentiment that I have from some previous stamp sets. Actually, the one I'm going to make is retired, so I'm just going to use this little sentiment. You know why I'm using this one? Because I need more birthday cards. I just do. Now this, I just huffed on it. This label here, it comes in the die cut package with this stamp set. I did go ahead and use brown ink for this because I just wanted it to blend and look super warm and natural with our actual card. So the base card is the early espresso, and then I'm going to do a layer on top of that, and then our bark layer on top of this, and this I'm going to adhere flat. All right, so we're going to adhere that flat because I want to add some of our twine to our decoration, and we've got embossed and debossed, so you choose which one you want. I may use this side, and this is just some all-purpose glue. My name is Dawn. I am a demonstrator with Stampin' Up, And the reason I do these videos is to introduce you to myself and my particular style, introduce you to the Stampin' Up! Product line, and then introduce you to either a project or a technique. So that's the goal with my videos, is to give you those three things. So today, our demo is more about, here's my glue, technique, which this is the first of three, which is embossing. I get too quiet when I concentrate, isn't that funny? So I just adhered down the piece of burlap, I almost called it vellum, isn't that funny? Piece of burlap. All right, so decorating wise, I do want to put some twine on this layer before I adhere it down. So what I like to do is either with adhesive or a glue dot or your tape runner. I may do a glue dot, you guys. There we go. So I'm going to put a glue dot probably about halfway on either side. It just makes your life easier when you're putting your little baby thread or twine to the back. And I just wrap it around 3 times. You can do 1, you can do more than 3. My magic number's 3 for the most part. And this is just my technique and my personal style, but I like it skinny on one end and a little bit wider on the other, like that. So I'm gonna do that as well. Is this my wide end? Yeah, make it a little wider. All right, and bring it over here. Give it a little haircut. Actually, we can end it there, but I think I'll do here. So it'll stick a little better. So before you adhere this layer down, you're gonna wrap your twine. And I just feel like it gives it a little more of a rustic look, don't you? To have some, you've really got some basic elements and you've got some basic, oh, and I'm gonna pop this up with some dimensionals. So it gives you, and I'm gonna put a dimensional on top of the twine and one in the middle because it'll give some extra strength to the twine and help hold it in place. I'm gonna add a little more, you guys. Let me just put it here and here. You can never have too many, you know? So let me just take our little cellophane off. These are 2-sided adhesive, these little dimensionals, and they're just little foam octagons that raise up your cardstock, your layer, if you will, and it gives it much more dimension on your card in addition to the embossing. So I'm gonna get my base card. I tend to make the A2 cards, which are the 8.5 by 5.5, and you score it at 4 1/4. And again, I will have those measurements below. Am I gonna do it this way? I may do it. Let me see if I'm gonna put my thingy over here. I think I will. I think I'll reverse this from my initial card that I showed you and just put the fern on the opposite side. And we'll just reverse it a little bit. And I've got some butterflies. I did in 2 colors. I wasn't sure which one I was gonna like the best. We could even double it up. But let's go ahead and adhere down our fern. And this is also from this little piece. It may be a fern, it may be some leaves, but this is from the die set of the Quiet Meadows. Now remember, if you're having fun, to subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, and you can wait if it's yet to be determined, click the like sign. Tell me your favorite part in the comments, or check back after the video, and I will have the instructions and measurements for you in the comment section. All right, so I'm adhering our fern down. I'm also going to put some dimensionals on the actual sentiment. This little, look, it's sticking to my finger. And this tag is actually one of the dies from this same stamp set. So I'm enjoying this stamp set and this die is because it's very versatile, that it provides its own tag. It provides its own greenery to go with the stamped images. So, because all of these don't match just the stamps. There's so many more to this. Just awesome. So let's just put this somewhere nice like that, and let's determine if we want the beige, and I'm thinking brown, definitely. Little butterfly guy. It's gonna be a boy butterfly because he's not a feminine color. He's a nice natural neutral color. So I'm gonna glue him down right there. And this card is finished. And I actually, where's the one? Here it is. I copied this one, but didn't go into the great detail with the flower. Isn't that cool? So just a little something different that we did there with that particular stamp. So you can see the difference. You can put flowers on this if you want. You can put the butterfly down by the sentiment. So same card, but a pinch different. So this is your embossing technique. Let's get on to our next technique, which is going to be watercolor. What? I know. So here are my 2 watercolor samples. This one I tried 3 colors, you guys, and this one I just did 2, and I actually like them both. So see what you think about which one you particularly like. And it did make a difference. I've got to share this with you. It did make a difference in the type of paper that I used. Let me feel these. Yeah, this one I used regular thick white basic cardstock, and this one I did use the watercolor cardstock. It's textured different, it's a little thicker, and I did enjoy using it better. So you have options, and let's just see how this plays out with our project. Now what you want to do is get a acrylic block, a piece of acetate, whatever you want. And let me get my little base, because I've got my base and layer. Okay, and this one. Good, good, good. This is my watercolor. So I'm going to do a white base and pink layer, and then my watercolor layer, and then decorate from there. So I'm going to add that to that. I've got some of this and this. I got some pretty things to add to it. All right, so what you do is you take your ink colors that you're going to use, and I'm just going to do 2 colors for the video. So you're just going to press down and ink up, in this case, the acrylic block. So I'll do this side with the pink. That is the Highland Heather purple, and let me peek at this one, Blushing Bride. Now what you want to do is get it very wet and soupy with some water. Now the ideal is to use your watercolor brushes that you see me use with the colored pencils, the watercolor pencils, and they come in 3 sizes. The thicker one is the ideal, but I loaned mine to my granddaughter, so I don't have it here. And if you don't have these, order them. However, in the meantime, just get you an inexpensive little sponge like this from the dollar store, and you're going to, let's mix up our pink first. I may have to add that. Just add you some stripes. And I chose not to bring mine all the way out to the end. One of these I did, one of these I didn't, but. And now we're going to add some purple, the Highland Heather. This is fun, don't you think? Fun little technique. I like it a little bit messy. All right, let me get that guy out. I don't know what that is. So there you go. This is going to be our background, and this is a watercolor background. Now we're going to mount it to a layer, and when I use the pink underneath it, we could use the purple underneath it, and just, I'm going to raise it, of course, but put it on white like that. There's a white base. To me, it's just lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I really like it. Make sure there's no ink on my fingers. So let's get adhering, and then pop it up. Pop it up. So I am going to put, you might have to let this dry depending how heavy-handed you are with your ink and watercolor. Well, I have loved this bottle to death, haven't I? Next. Put some love in the middle. And this is my base. I'm gonna line her up here. See how the hers are feminine colors and my guys are the more neutral colors. Isn't that funny? Now this particular one, the other thing I want to do is, do I want to add some twine? I think I'm going to add a bow. Let's see what all our decorations are. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. You know what would be cute is to add some lace. I think I want that to be my top. So I'm going to add some lace like kind of towards the bottom here. I just thought that'd be pretty, don't you? Ooh, I may put it all the way underneath, and I think I will. So, that being said, let me get a little. Make sure I'm lining her up correctly the way I like. Yeah, I like that. Oh, Nelly, came undone. There I go. See if we want any more lace anywhere else. I don't think so. One of my cards for one of my card classes, I did like that and reversed it. I don't know if we'll need that. So let's just play a minute and see what we're gonna do with our ferns and decorations and flowers. So I've got the purple. Let me put them under the lace a little bit. Yep. I'm just lining these up to play and see what I wanna do with them. And we've got another butterfly, so I could do purple, I could do pink, and we've also got from the same die set is the half, what I call the little half butterflies, which look like they've landed on the flower. That's cute too, don't you think? And I've got my sentiment. So let's go ahead and do our happy birthday. I'm gonna just, yeah, I think I will do it in the purple. Let me get it cleaned off a little bit. I was debating if I should use the black, and I think I'd like to use the Highland Heather for my sentiment. One thing I like to do when I'm doing sentiments is give it a little test before I stamp it down so I can gauge my pressure and how much ink, if I'm getting enough ink on it. Ta-da! So I am happy with that particular one. And if I'm not happy, guess what? We flip it over and we stamp it again. It's as simple as that. So this guy, I definitely want to add some dimensionals to the back of our little label, if you will. I'm just gonna put a third because we can, right? And this bling is so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Just some opalescent. All right, these guys, let's go ahead and adhere it down. Come here, guys. Same fern that I made the green, but only in purple. So you can see, lovely, lovely. Just by changing up some colors, you actually change up the look of your cards. And I try to do that with samples and with my demos to put things in different colors, the samples and demos I show and tell with you, because I want you to see how different things look when we make small changes. It can be the same card with a very small change, like color or a particular bling, and then it just kind of changes up the whole card for us. So I like to show you some simple cards that are going to mail easy, simple cards that anyone can do. I have a heart for the beginner stamper. So if you're brand new, please know you can make this. I do use an embossing machine. If you are brand new, do not order one yet till you see if you're going to fall in love with this particular hobby of stamping and card making. You can fussy cut images, which you'll see me do and demo next week. We're gonna make some embellishments, so we'll do a lot of fussy cutting next week. So I want you to, that might, oh no, I'm gonna put this under here. What? I know. Look at my scissors caught in my pretty lace. That's funny. All right, get that out of the picture, get that out of the picture, and add our label. And then I have one more technique for you. This is the Watercolor Technique. So I'm gonna put this a little bit close to the bottom near the lace. I like it right there. And I think I'll do, since I did since I did the stamping, our sentiment in the purple, I'm gonna go ahead, the Highland Heather, and do our little butterfly. This one I think I will put down near the sentiment. And if you notice, I only put the glue under his body, and then I put my finger where his body is and fluff up his little wings. It just gives the illusion as if he's flying. So I thought that was stinking cute. And then we could either add some pearls, or we could add some of the opalescent sequined kind of design-y things, and I'm calling it that because you can tell I don't know what they're called. First, let's add some, am I gonna do that flat or elevated? I might do that flat, you guys. Nope, I think we'll elevate it. I noticed my samples I elevated. If you're just now joining us, this particular class is creating your own backgrounds. And the first method is and was embossing, and this one is watercolor. Oh, look at that, that's funny. And then I've got a third technique for you. So you will end this video in 20 to 30 minutes learning 2 different techniques for creating backgrounds for your layers for your cards. And that's, if you're a beginner stamper, this is how we just go to the next level with our cards, is learning simple new techniques and just add it one at a time. Master a technique. You do not have to be the crafty type to make cards, to do stamping. You just need to have a desire. Stamping and card making is a learned skill, and anyone can learn it. This is coming out so precious. So let me add a little bit of these pretty, pretty little opalescent guys that stick to my finger and not my take a pick. Oh my gosh, how sweet is that? Okay, let's put one right there. Do I want it anywhere else, you guys? Goodness sakes. Put one right there, and let's do a third, because we know, we want, I'm gonna do it right there. We want odd numbers. So this is your finished product for your watercolor. So now we have 3 different ones, all the same stamp set, all the same die set, same technique for your water background, changed up the colors to make each card look different. Same card design, same technique, but look how different each of them look. So that is that for that. So I'm gonna put that aside for you. And then our last technique is stamping. We are actually going to stamp our own background for our card. Look at this one. And that's going to open like that. So anywho, we're going to make one and create our own background with stamping. So I thought that was pretty cool. I did go with, let me put that right there so you can see the samples as I go ahead and make the actual card. So see what I mean? Same die cuts, different colors, white and purple, some black bling, because I did my sentiment in black. I wanted it to pop. And so let's get to stamping on this, and I want to do a little stamping on this. Yep, I'm going to leave like that, like that, like that. So this one, let's do, where's my little thingy? I'm gonna do this nice round flower, and then this makes it look like dots, like splatters. Isn't that the coolest? So that is all part of that stamp set. Very versatile stamp set. What? I know. Oh, there's one of those guys that escaped. Okay, so here we go. Let me get us a little block. Here I go. No, I'll do these first. I couldn't decide which ones I was gonna do. And let's use our lavender. I really like the tone on tone with our stamping. And with stamping, I'm gonna start with the background. I've just decided that. You can do a couple things, couple different techniques. You can ink up your flower and stamp it on some scrap paper first, and then come back and stamp it on your cardstock. And it just gives you a hint of a shadow. So that's called stamping off. You can also do a bold, direct. Look at the difference in the colors, but both are lovely, don't you think? So let me do a couple more of the stamped off versions, and then we'll do some of the bright ones. And if you wanted to do a whole card in just the faded flowers or a whole card in the bright, do it. It's anything you want because it's your card, your personal taste. I'm coming off the card a little bit. I want to fill in and fill in. I think I'm going to stop there. Oh, let me leave that out because here's what I'm going to do. Get rid of that guy for a minute and put on the crazy little dots. These I'm not going to stamp off because I just want them to be fillers. Cool, right? Oh, I love this stamp because I just feel like it looks kind of Art Deco, or it looks, I can't remember the word of that particular style, but it'll come to me. I don't know, I just think this is cool looking. Mixed media, that's the term I was looking for. So you can add as many or as few of the dots as you want. I tried to fill in the spots, but we could definitely come and stamp right on top of a flower. That is definitely okay as well. Nice, you like? You like? All right, so let's put some dots over here on our actual sentiment. And if we want, we can do a flower, or we can just leave it all messy fun with the dots. I'm thinking I might do a flower. I like it. All right. Get any glue, not glue. Yeah, I got to get glue and ink off my fingers. So now we've got a base. We have got, not a base, a layer. We have got a layer to go on top of the layer. And then we have our base card. So what I'm going to do with this, I do want to pop this up, but let's see what we're going to put underneath it first. I think I definitely want to put some white, and I think I'll then add, I think I'll do 2 whites and a purple. Pretty, pretty, pretty. You can copy me. I do like punch out the 2 colors and then decide as I'm doing it which I want to use. So you can see, oh, that's kind of cool too. Let's see if we like that one better. Da-da-da. Yeah, I do. Do you guys like that one better? I like it better. And I may cut off the stems and go ahead and tuck them under, and I think I will tuck them under the actual kind of belly band, although it doesn't wrap around, but middle sentiment, if you will. And I'm not going to put it in the middle. Now this, yeah, it just has a border at the top and bottom. It meets at the edges like this. And then I'm definitely going to pop that one up with our dimensionals. I just think that'll be so pretty, so pretty. So we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, that's going to be pretty, huh? So I'm going to leave these to the side. Make sure you can see everything. And let's adhere down our die cuts. Now this background, if you're new and you do not have the embossing cut machine from Stampin' Up, you do not need to add this. Your card will be lovely, just like that. And you need nothing more. Maybe you can add a bow somewhere, but don't feel you have to order the machine. If you are at the point where you're like, oh no, I love this hobby, this is so me, I'm in, count me in, then yes, get you a Stampin' Emboss, because it just adds so much to your crafting techniques and it simplifies life. However, let me just cut some of this off. Really, it's an investment excellent. And yes, I use mine all the time and love it. But if you're just experimenting, not sure if this is for you yet, it should not be one of your first orders. Get you some scissors and some adhesive, maybe some glue, and then a stamp set with some sentiments similar, if you like the flowers here, similar to this set, and an ink pad. So just start out with very, very, very few supplies and add as you go along. You want to order with intention because there are so many cute things. We have 3 catalogs going on right now, a holiday catalog and the main full year catalog and a celebration catalog where you can get free stuff, and I'll share that with you. But you can get carried away and order all the cute stuff and then never use it. And I tend to demo one stamp set for an entire month on purpose because I want you to see the versatility you can get from one stamp set so that you know you're getting the best bang for your buck with your particular stamp set. I am not seeing, there it is, my take a pic, did you? Nope, didn't pull that off yet. So I like you to at least use a stamp set. Know you're going to use it before you order it at least 5 times, and then order it. And you're not going to know your exact projects. None of us plan to that degree. However, okay, that's starting to look cute, don't you think? So we could add a bow, we could add some bling. I'm going to add a little butterfly guy, and then I'm going to add some of the black sequins because I wanted to kind of enhance and show off and bring attention to the actual sentiment. There, it'll look like he just took flight from that flower garden. There we go. And these black sequins are nice and flat and will go through the mail beautifully. So we could leave just the 1. We could put 3, we could put 5. You definitely just want odd numbers, you know, and that's going to be your secret to success. I'm so silly. I always try to decide where to put it. And now we got to decide, do we want this flat, which you could, or elevate it? I think it would be okay to elevate it going through the mail. It can't be thicker than 1/4 inch. Otherwise, it'll take more than 1 stamp. So I try to be careful with my layers, or if I add some bling, that it's not too tall. And if I have tall bling or a thicker bow, then I won't elevate and make these layers, double layers. This one I would have adhered flat. So I'm gonna turn this upside down, kind of eyeball where I want it. It's gonna have a little margin, if you will. So here are your 3 samples for the technique of stamping your own stamped background. What do you think? So let's bring out again then the watercolor samples. And then we have our embossed samples. I don't see my other guy. We know we have another one. Where it is right now is beyond me. Oh. I found some there. Ta-da! So 3 techniques is your takeaway for today. You have learned the watercolor technique. You have learned the stamping technique where you're really stamping and creating your own print paper. And then the embossing folders for a layered background that you're not stamping, you're not coloring, you're not watercoloring. It just creates a little fun raised design in your paper, and it just adds so much to your cards without you doing much effort, you know? So thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the techniques today, and I hope you will press subscribe and like, and I hope you had fun. I hope you'll make these cards. Please let me know if you make them, and remember to watch below, and I'll put the measurements in the comment section. Now, Join me next week, Thursday, September 16th. It is Stampin' Up's Day of Service, where they ask us all to do something for our community. But we also have a stamp set that you can order, and $3 of each order goes to the Heart Association, which is near and dear to me and my family. And so I'm going to do a demo with some cards from that particular stamp set, and then join me again next Friday at 3:30, and we are going to learn how to make our own embellishments. Again, I've got 3 techniques for you, so come on back next Friday. And thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great crafty weekend. Bye, you guys.